Meghan and Harry's poor baby may not exist. Our suspicions about Lilibet were correct. Is it true that the Sussexes are accepting the exchange of silver coins for fake children? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the King YouTube channel. One reason that I love this channel is because most of you understand that news articles in the media are mostly fed on part truth and mostly fiction. We seriously doubt that Lilibet indeed exists, but even so, there was an article about then Prince Charles's meeting with his granddaughter and the rest of Harry's family during the late Queen's Jubilee celebrations. And I still wonder how exactly then Prince Charles found the time to meet this made-up child during the celebrations. So if, and that's a very big if, it really happened, don't you think that a couple of headline-hunting narcissists would have made absolutely sure that there were some photos leaked to the media, probably the Daily Mail? Everybody else took their kids to the Jubilee. Even little August Brooksbank was there. He was only 1 year old at the time, and he was there for a little while. But those two decided to keep their invisible kids private, while making sure they talk about them whenever they can, tell lies about their achievements because they know nothing about child development. But if that meeting had really happened, we can be sure there would have been some anecdote about it or some photo that would have shown up in some magazine or other. That child does not exist. I don't think either child exists. Now, maybe they exist for a different family, a different couple, and they're happy to use them for photo ops, but neither child lives with Meghan and Harry in that Olive Garden-looking Montecito McMansion. Because think about it, it doesn't make sense. We have never seen any papped photos of them being taken to the park or to nursery school or anywhere. Have they been papped doing anything normal? No, absolutely never in their lives has that happened. But it did happen at least one time to every other member of the royal family, and so that's why it doesn't make any sense. And let's remember, this was also the visit where Harry claimed that his 96-year-old grandmother, the Queen, with only 2 or 3 months left to live, was rolling around playing in the floor with Invisibet. And this is when she could only appear on the balcony with a lot of difficulty, and I think she was in a lot of pain. We said multiple times that we don't care exactly what the late Queen died of. She was 96 years old and she was frail. So I do not believe she was going to be playing on the floor with anybody. That would have been basically impossible. And even if it were possible, it would have been incredibly painful, and there's no way she would have done that. And how convenient that none of Harry's family was around to meet Invisibet. They were all busy with their royal duties. They didn't want to meet this invisible child. Why would they? No member of the royal family has an official or really any photo of that girl, and the only verified picture of Archofficial was when he was at his christening. The only thing that article really proves is that you cannot believe everything you read. And when we've heard from people who were on duty when the two of them flew into the UK, and it was confirmed there were no kids traveling in that plane with them. So I'm sure this story has been pushed by their PR people. And it's not like there's going to be a comment from the palace to contradict their story, so they continue to get away with their lies, for now at least. But somebody knows the truth, and whoever that person is or people are, I'm sure they're being paid a lot of money to stay quiet. Speaking of kids, I know the news we shared about Catherine's 4th child is exciting, but you also expressed your skepticism about this news, and I don't blame you, you're right. So meanwhile, in another issue, was Meghan Markle actually treated poorly by the British royal family? As I have said before, Meghan didn't appreciate being lower in the pecking order than Catherine was. She simply didn't have the grace, the humility, and the dedication to be a real working member of the royal family and to be successful at it. And I don't think Harry realized who she really was. He rushed into marriage with her. Obviously, he was thinking with the brain inside his pants instead of the one inside his head. And it really is a pity because he was so popular, and he abandoned his own family and his country all for Meghan. What a fool. Now it looks like for the rest of his life he's going to be her puppet. And unfortunately, the royal family cannot speak on this, so we only know Meghan's side of the story of how poorly she claimed she was treated. Although I suspect Harry didn't even see all this happen. Like most husbands, he just believes whatever she says without question. He doesn't realize that in this case he has been manipulated. Meghan Markle is going to lie to him time and time again if she believes it's going to benefit her. And sadly, it was too late to see through the claims that she made before the damage had already been done. As we now know, most of these have been proven incorrect, proven to be lies. The biggest problem is that no matter how untrue these claims turn out to be, Meghan Markle knows that mud sticks. Meghan tried to be the star of the monarchy, and she failed big time. And let's remember, this was when she started to criticize important royal family members. And then she talked about how badly they treated her. But if you really dig into what she says, you can tell that it lacks any real substance or proof. But Meghan doesn't care about that. She doesn't care because she knows that even alluding to something so horrible can cause more than enough damage. It can harm the work of the royal family, and it can taint their reputation. Once the damage has already been done, it's not easy to undo it. So even when she says anything or implies something like the royal family is racist, that allegation is going to follow them around like a dark cloud. It doesn't matter that it's not true. Meghan assumes that more than enough people are going to say, well, if she said it, there must be some truth to it, and that's exactly why she goes ahead and tells those lies. I'm sure you all have heard the saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Now, this is only my perspective, but you can see how damaging the vindictive nature of a woman like Meghan can be if somebody dares to step in and say, no, you can't just do whatever you want to. This is a pattern we have seen over and over again. Meghan makes these absurd claims, and then she tells Harry how upset she is by his family, reminding him of how they supposedly treated his mother so badly too, and that triggers his protective behavior and the anger that he's felt his whole life. And then he pretends to be her knight in shining armor, so he tells everybody how badly she was treated by his own family. And because he's got a temper and he's all angry, he doesn't even care that he doesn't have the full story, that he didn't bother asking the other side what really happened. You can see this problem in Harry's book Spare and also the interview they did with Oprah. It looked like Harry accepted everything Meghan said at face value. He didn't see any of this happen, but he still rushed to defend her and he believed her without question. And I believe that is what started his dramatic fall from grace. Meghan tried to claim that she didn't know anything about the royal family before she met Harry, but she knew enough to know that they never air their dirty laundry in public. So she knows she can get away with saying whatever she wants to, or she can get other people to speak on her behalf like Scooby-Doo, and it's never going to be challenged. The late Queen said it all when she said recollections may vary. That statement was the Queen's polite way of letting everybody know, please don't believe everything Meghan says, because her story does not reflect the truth. The late Queen was incredibly smart, she was compassionate, and she was honest. She would never tell lies in public to her people about such a thing, so I believe that Meghan was trying to manipulate the situation to make more problems for the royal family. And I'm convinced Meghan knew exactly what she was doing from the very start. She pretended to be this innocent victim because she wanted to be able to manipulate people. And now Harry is in a very difficult situation. I'm not sure whether or not the reality of everything that they have done has sunk in. I mean, he has been manipulated, but I don't know if he realizes that. So when he's no longer useful, Meghan's going to throw him away. And then I'm sure he's going to come crawling back to his family because they are the only ones who have ever really loved him and protected him. Unless Meghan can be stopped, it's not going to be long before innuendos about Harry's role as a husband and father are going to come out to make him look like the villain in this whole story. She's going to make him look scary and dangerous so that she can get her freedom and she can take the invisible kids with her. There are going to be so many examples. There will be video recordings of Harry being unstable and unhinged. She knows how to push his buttons, and I'm sure that on many occasions she has pushed him beyond the limit. So there's going to be a video or videos released to the public. They're going to be carefully edited, and it's going to show just enough for Meghan to make her point, trying to trick everybody into believing that she's the victim and Harry just lost his mind while she was so scared in the corner of the room. And she even had to call the police because she was so scared for her life and the lives of the invisible children. Now, maybe I'm being cynical. Maybe none of this is ever going to happen, but I'm afraid if she tries something, Harry does not stand a chance. She's going to destroy him. I mean, the actress in her is going to remember what to do. This will be the greatest role she has ever played as the abused woman, and I'm sure a lot of money is going to be tossed at this problem to figure it out. I can only hope that Harry or the royal family can get a signed document stopping Meghan from ever writing or saying or talking to other people about that relationship or the royal family ever again. And then when she breaks the contract because they won't give her the money that she wants, well, maybe they can prosecute her for breaking the contract in the first place, and you know she will. Now, the price for Meghan keeping her trap shut is going to be very high because this is the only card she's got left to play. She wants to be the richest, most famous woman on the planet. Now, folks, I'm not psychic, so of course I don't know for sure that any of this is going to happen. But if something doesn't change, then I'm afraid there is a real risk that something like this may come to pass. That's all for my news today. So what do you think about Meghan? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. And if you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like and share with your relatives and friends who would love it anytime you want. Please don't forget to subscribe to our The King YouTube channel to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely evening. And, we'll be back to see you tomorrow. Bye. I love you all.